Live Nation, what's up, y'all? Hello. Hello, hello. Hi. Hi, guys. How y'all doing? Hello, hello. Get your life. What's up, sweets and eats? Hey, beautiful black people. Hey, Herda, Felicia, Tiffany's RS. Hey, Eric. Thank you, my love. Greetings from Costa Rica. Okay, Costa Rica. I see you, Costa Rica. What's up, Levi? JH1. You guys, I'm drinking this is a protein smoothie. I'm about to be 51 in 7 days. Hello, thank you, Jesus. I'm finna be 51 in 7 days. You see what I'm saying? So this is Premier Protein, which I love. It's my favorite protein powder. I got my husband on it. He was on all that other stuff. I was like, no, you need to try this Premier Protein stuff. I tried it. He tried it. We tried it. It is what it is. What's up, Carla Renata? I see you, the curvy chick. What's up, Debbie? Hi, everybody. So I put Premier Protein, a little bit of almond milk. I put raspberries. I put blueberries. I put, so packed with berries. I put strawberries, all that stuff. What's up? Where is my flake? Where is my goddamn flake? What's up, Chi? I'm sorry, y'all. That's just a little something from college. Look, we were the what they call them, y'all, in a girls trip, the Flossy Posse. Yes, Kappa Sweetheart. My Kappa Sweetheart sisters. Yo, sweet. I love it. Baylestina, you was about to go to sleep and you saw my live. Well, thank y'all for bopping in. I'm drinking my protein shake. This is my meal supplement, y'all, because in 7 days, about to be 51. And I learned a lot of good shit in that 50th trip around the sun, right? I learned so much. Oh, and let me say this now. Let me just let y'all know. When I do my lives, I'm grown. Y'all see these gray streaks and everything, which, by the way, the purple shampoo is working awesome. So thank you guys for recommending that. But I'm grown. So there will be some very direct sort of shit and hell and damn kind of talk going on this live. So I want everybody to have the opportunity to, you know, excuse themselves if you feel like ladylike conversation is your thing, because, you know, I'm from Detroit, so I got a cussing permit. No, not really. I don't think they give them out, but, you know, the Detroit and Chicago, they cuss pretty hard too. Well, you know, black people in general can cuss their ass off. And I don't know if that's something we should be proud of, but it definitely it does something, y'all. I know. Let's have the cussing conversation real quick. So here's the thing about profanity. There is a much better way to say things. You can choose your words. You can be more ladylike. You don't have to be like, this motherfucker, like, you don't have to go all off into that space. But sometimes it does, like, really put the on the message. You know what I'm saying? And I think that in this day and age, people are really navigating more towards organic dialogue, you know, conversations that they can relate to. And in our community, I'm not here to judge whether it's good or bad. I think to each his own. I think what works for you. As long as you ain't trying to cause nobody no harm, you can cuss your motherfucking ass off. But anyway, I know it's so unnecessary. But there's so many brands out there now that are being super transparent and allowing people to just say what they have to say. I think cursing and bonnets are the least of our issues in our community. I do. Let me sip a little. I think bonnets, cursing, and the N-word, which I know a lot of people were offended by in my previous post. But damn, that post got over almost 100,000 views. That was it got a lot of interaction and a lot of comments and a lot of great conversation. This was the post where I said that other cultures don't speak publicly on platforms about their women the way niggas, and I was very specific. I didn't say black men, I didn't say brothers, I didn't say, I said niggas. And I know a lot of people have a problem with the word niggas, but we've all said it, and we all know exactly what a nigga is. We done seen them, we done been around them, we see them on TV. There's a difference between a black man and a nigga, period. Now, there's the whole conversation about us perpetuating this stereotype of the nigger, but we're all grown enough and adults enough to understand the difference between niggas and black people. And I'm not going to get into that whole dialogue here because She Speaks Live is coming back. And Stacey J. Johnson, who actually is probably, am I competing with my friends live? I don't think so, because everybody be on her live anyway. But Stacey J. Johnson, who's a love and relationships coach and a really good friend of mine, we go back well over 20 years. She made a comment on one of my posts, and people really were like, oh my gosh, so engaged. So I'm really excited to have this conversation with Stacey, who is a love and relationships expert. And the post that I'm talking about is the one where I said Iyanla Vanzant and the Kevin guy. Excuse me, y'all. It's my protein. But the post about Iyanla and Kevin Sams or whatever. I think Stacey would be a great person to have this conversation with. I'm going to nudge her a few more times and see if she'll break down and really have that talk with me. But I also want to hear from black men who support him or black women who support him, because I think having that dialogue is super important in our community. I think we get so caught up in judging each other for how we feel about shit and blocking out, other ideas and other concepts because we just know exactly what the hell we talking about and we don't want to hear what anybody else is saying. And that's a really big, major issue that our community, a major hurdle that our community needs to try and get over. Another major hurdle that our community needs to try and get over is this feeling that collaboration and disagreement and building together can't all live in the same space, right? Just because we don't all agree with the same shit doesn't mean that we don't have the same end game goal. And I think as a community, our end game goal has always been, and should always be the evolution and economic development and legacy building of the black community. And if that's not a part of what your goals or your ambitions are, then, you don't really matter in this conversation, because those are the kind of people we fucks, F-U-X, with. Anybody who's not about the evolution and progress and positive growth in underserved communities, won't understand. And I think that people who should understand or should evolve into at least some form of acceptance that we all need each other to really accomplish what we are all hoping to accomplish, which is some kind of harmony and unity in our race and the opportunity for us to evolve economically, spiritually, emotionally, because mental illness and mental health issues and untreated, undiagnosed mental health issues are rampant in the black community. And those of us who want to see change have to come together. Like, there's just no other way that the shit is going to happen if we don't all come together. I'm super proud of Tamar Braxton. I am so proud of Tamar Braxton. I have always been a Tamar fan. I haven't always agreed with every decision Tamar has made, and she probably I don't care, but I've always been a big fan and always supported her, just like with Kiki and myself. Shit, I don't agree with some of the decisions I've made, and I think that is okay for us to feel that way about each other, but to pat each other on the back and really say, I'm proud of you, sis, and I see you, and that's a big deal. And what you're doing by opening up to People magazine, I think the headline, don't quote me, is that reality TV almost killed me. I totally get it. And I'm so proud of her for being so transparent and putting it on a national platform like that, a crossover platform like that. It's so important for people to understand that it is our transparency. There's a quote And the quote is something like, you know, greatness is never achieved in good times. Greatness is achieved in trials and overcoming them, in adversity and overcoming it. And I speak to this all the time on my lives, how important it is for us as a community to embrace I was about to use some unnecessary profanity, but I say it a better way. For us to embrace the foul ass shit. I won't say something else, but I'm gonna clean it up. That has happened to us, and really use that as a lesson, a testimony, a story for younger generations of people to learn from, right? Because if we can't be transparent enough and honest enough and real enough to really share with one another the mistakes and the forks in the road and the ebb and the flow and the times we were broken and the times we felt like, you know, reality TV could kill me, or, you know, in my case, I almost lost my husband to reality TV. Y'all watched that video. It was the truth. And not just in reality TV, I think even in the scripted space and entertainment, period. And I'm going to tell y'all a little something about entertainers that some of you may realize and some of you may not. This is inside baseball or inside entertainment industry or whatever the hell you want to call it. All right, let me take a little sip first before I tell y'all what I'm going to tell y'all, because this is some personal, you know, which many of you may already know. So you'd be like, you ain't telling us something we don't know. But a lot of entertainers have to go to a place like spiritually and emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Like, to make people laugh. You see it a lot of times with comedians. That's why you guys see a lot of comedians, the suicide rate or the alcoholism rate or the drug addiction rate is so high. Because for a lot of people, you know, and myself included, definitely. I mean, I thank God that I don't have a problem talking to somebody when I need to talk to somebody who know what the hell they talking about to help me through my shit. And I don't really, well, it isn't about me. This is about the collective. So the collective in the industry, to entertain people, you have to tap into a place that is often filled with a lot of pain, right? Some of the best songs we have ever heard on the radio. Some of the best love songs, some of the best, you know, people all, listen, it goes to Mary J, right? And I'm gonna get to some Q&A in a minute, y'all, but I got to tell y'all this. But people always talk about how Mary, you know, oh, I like it when she not gonna cry and when she this, that, and the third. That is proof positive. Some of the best films, some of the best, you know, shows, even when we watch reality TV, you know, y'all wanna see us like really like digging deep and going at it and keeping it real and saying how we feel and agitated as fuck and just ready. I'm sorry, there I go. Strike. Sorry. But as agitated as a mug. And in order to get into those places, my point is, it is such a draining process, right? And to do it before the world, to, you know, to share. There's songs that I've written that I don't even like to listen to because I remember how I was feeling when I wrote it. I remember the pain that it came from. Like 5 Miles to Empty is always a story I tell. That's a true story. Like, it's a real thing that actually really happened, right? So every time I hear it, I have to go back into that space of like, wow, he really, you know, this really happened. And, you know, I was really hurt behind that. And I think with entertainers and reality TV personalities and singers and artists and painters and creatives, we tap into those spaces. We let the pain or whatever it is that becomes the ether, that, you know, we let that out for everyone to enjoy. And then you go back into yourself and there's like either an empty space there or there's that compounded feeling of, okay, now I just gave more of myself without refueling, talking to somebody, working through my shit. I just put it in a song, I put it on film, I put it on whatever. And then you have these people who have these platforms and these fan bases that are huge, and people grow to love you for you sharing your pain with them, right? They grow to love you for the authenticity of your hurt, and because they can connect to it too. And then there becomes like this vicious cycle of that is what you have to give me and that is what you have to give me more of. And then the people who market that and promote that don't give a flying, and I'm gonna say a cuss word, cover your ears, fuck, about the artist. It is about the end game, the finances, the money, the investment, the return. And then ultimately, you know, because we are not machines and we are human beings, it crashes. You see it with Whitney, you see it with Michael, you see it with Prince. Y'all, I'm telling y'all what I know. And then the people that you've given these parts of yourself, this vulnerability, right? This pain. And I don't mean it in a bad way, like, oh, we're giving people all our pain and people are enjoying our pain. But y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. You know a real heartbreak song when you hear one. When Lenny Williams, he was feeling something, period. Not gonna cry, Mary was feeling something. So it's something real that comes out of that. And it goes into, you know, the airwaves and into this marketable thing. And the artists don't get the repair and the restoration. And then when they result to self-medicating to make up for what they've given that they haven't, you know, what that hasn't been reciprocated, then it's like, oh, you crackhead, you alcoholic, you ain't shit, drunk, da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? And it's just terrible because now these people are trying to figure out how to heal long enough to get out here and give audiences more of what they want and what they've become famous for, and it's killing them, literally. And then they're gone, right? And then it's, oh, we're so sorry, and I'm not trying to make this a morbid conversation, I'm just telling y'all some real shit from my perspective. That's all it is. And nobody really cares. And that's the thing I think is so dangerous, that people really don't give a flying frog leg. And it has become an environment where we have basically used the reserves of like that really good talent that, you know, makes you feel good and tells you stories that, you know, evolve your mind and your body and your spirit and, you know, make you really feel optimistic. Like, we don't have that anymore. There were also those moments of like inspiration, and starting with The Man in the Mirror, and just, you know, even films that inspired that, you know what I mean? Love Jones, and just, you know, there was all that art that was also very good. And because now we don't have those people around anymore to really make that art, or those people were taken advantage of and it just didn't work out and whatever, now we're left with the bullshit that we have in the entertainment industry today, which is just a more vicious cycle of pain and trauma and darkness and crazy shit. And it is impacting our children. It is impacting our communities. It is impacting our perspectives on each other. You know, men, alpha males are having a hard time, y'all. Brothers, I'm married to one. Brothers are having a hard time because they see it, especially, you know, men in their like 50, you know, men, you know what I'm saying? They see it, and there's not a whole lot that they can do because it's just so overrun with, you know, you'll get canceled if you say this, or you just old, and you see what happened with Monique and the bonnets, and let alone let a black man say it. And now you got black men and black women that are feuding against each other, which again, I'm not going to get into that conversation because we're going to have brothers and relationship experts on She Speaks Live, which is coming back. But it is difficult to watch your community fall apart and really not have the resources or the understanding of how to put it back together. And we can pretend like the shit is not, but this, yeah, shit is kind of crazy, right? And we've always been a people who have been empowered, inspired, motivated, led on some levels by culture. We created it. We have, you know, the music was such a big part of the civil rights movement. And, you know, in the 70s, the music was a big part of, you know, this caravan of love and, you know, spirituality and just, you know, great vibrations. And the vibrations were just so much higher. And now it's just some bullshit. And it's some bullshit because the artist who would continue to evolve and pass the baton to the younger artists and to inspire them and to make them want to work harder to be successful, right? It's some out there, some really good young artists out there. I'm not saying all artists. But as a general rule, social media influencers are now starring in films like They done put in the work of actors who've been perfecting their crafts for years and years and years. And I'm not trying to take nobody back. I'm just saying, y'all know that's some bullshit. When there are actors and performers who can really deliver. And let me tell y'all the proof in the pudding of that. Oh, my shake is getting like... Let me tell y'all the proof in the pudding of that. The show on Netflix called Startup. I'm not sure if you guys watch that show, but I preach about this all the time. The show was done in 2016 on a network called Crackle. Then in 2017, they did another season of it, and then they did a few other seasons after that. If you've seen Startup, you know what I'm talking about. Best freaking show on television, and the proof is in the pudding because they got acquired, operative word, because they own they shit. Collaboration again, people. But they got acquired by Netflix, and 780 million viewers in over the course of like 6 weeks. #1 acquired show on Netflix, y'all. Black man, Asian one, most diverse cast in television. Not a whole bunch of influencers and people we see all the time doing the same shit. Ron Perlman is probably the most familiar face, Hellboy, probably the most familiar face in the show. But it's just so dope because you see the story of the show that came out in 2016. And it was the little show that could, and it was just a talented cast and a really dope ass story. And it's winning, and it's winning big, and it's changing the face of it. You see what Zendaya did when she brought her people on board and gave everybody a little piece of the action, and they sold a big film to Netflix. And that kind of collaboration, and that kind of truth and storytelling, and that kind of not just buying into shit because it's popular in social media. It's like on some levels, adults are letting these young people run the village like they paid the dues. They letting them run the village like, you know, we run this shit. We just got here the other day and somebody bought this position I'm in, so I'm just going to do it because I got X amount of millions of followers. 9 times out of 10, a large percentage of those followers are kids. So basically, you're just letting kids run this shit, you know? And this isn't an attack on children. I love children. If you know me, you know I'm all for the victims' rights. I'm all for the kids, and I'm all for the black men. So do not come at me with that silly shit because I'm not the one for it. But I'm going to tell the truth and call a spade a spade. And what's happening is these children who need to be developed and need to be guided, and these younger generations that need to be encouraged and lifted and need to understand that everything doesn't come when you push a button and put some shit in the microwave and pop out, wham, you're a superstar. That shit is not longevity. It doesn't bring value to the community long term. It doesn't bring value to you long term. And if your distributors really knew what the hell was going on and could predict the future, they would see that it's not going to bring long-term value to them, because I'm going to tell you what's real about black people. We are #1 consumers. We buy everything, but we like real shit. What is real speaks to the heart. Real music, you know, something that is really fly, something that is, so you can't pull the wool over our eyes. So you have to stop passing this mediocrity over as talent and really make the investment and put the time and the energy into developing partnerships and alliances with people who have been there, who have done that, who are willing to work in tandem with you to change the trajectory of this industry. Because it's not all just about technology and buttons and shit. Y'all know how y'all feel when y'all hear those records that really penetrate your spirit and your soul. You cannot put that shit in a bottle and make it feel like it feels when it's in its authentic space. It's like hearing live music versus technical shit or digital shit. So anyway, guys, I don't want to preach too much, but it's very important that those of us who know and those of us who remember and those of us who care tell the truth about this shit. And it's not, as I started in the beginning when I talked about being honest, transparent, collaborative. Just because you don't agree with some shit doesn't mean you can't figure out a way to collaborate and make it better for the collective, right? That's what you need to make shit real, to make it work. You need people who don't always agree, Maybe you don't agree with the method and the steps and the what, but you agree with the end game. You agree with, we know that at the end of this thing here, these are the individual things and the collective things we want to accomplish. And 9 times out of 10, for most people, they're so closely connected. We all want to be able to eat, want to be able to feed our kids, want to be able to be happy, want to be able to enjoy time with our friends, want to laugh, want to be healthy, want to be able to go see good doctors, want our kids to get good educations. We all want the same shit. The difference with everybody else in our community is that we must work on obtaining that and getting that together as a collective, as a unit. We can't afford to just be all over the place, fighting with each other, cussing each other out. Men, women, black women against each other, kids in the hood. The division in our community is what is leading to the destruction. I don't care what nobody tells you. It is the division, the jealousy, and the fear that keeps the black community suffering. And the inability to look in the mirror and acknowledge when there's some other issues going on, right? We got to start looking in the mirror, really acknowledging when we got some other shit going on that ain't got nothing to do with nobody else that we need to go on and take care of for ourselves so we can really, and we need to surround ourselves with people who can tell us that we need to get some shit together and not be offended by that. So when Monique says, and again, I hate to enter the bonding conversation because I have a whole perspective on that I'm going to share on She Speaks Live. But when Monique says, I need you guys and whomever else, Tiffany Haddish, when they say, the bonnets in the airport and the pajamas and stuff like that, I get it. I understand what they're trying to say. I totally get it. But then I also understand the perspective of the young girl who just doesn't hear it. She just, if a person is not positioned to receive your knowledge and your love and your passion for them and what you're trying to do to get them right, if a person ain't in a position to really receive that, they just won't receive it. And then what happens is the whole point becomes mute or, turns into some other shit. We have to stop telling people what to do and start leading by example, period. We have got to take it upon ourselves to fight until good shit is winning. We have got to continue to demand respect, equality, opportunity. We've got to go in these rooms and call these motherfuckers out when they ain't right. We got to not fear it affecting the bag. We've got to understand that this person could have this problem, that person could have this problem, this other person could have that problem. But if we all bring those problems together and we got one focus and one goal, it makes us so much more powerful. This is probably when my Instagram gonna start going crazy and but it makes us so much more powerful. I saw the post with Nene. 100% agree with her. What? 100% agree with her. And so happy that Nene Leakes is the person having this conversation, because I've been having this conversation since 2012. And I'm not comparing my conversation to hers, because her shit reaches a much broader audience than mine. So I'm so proud of her for speaking up. And it takes a lot. Y'all have no idea what you are up against when you call these motherfuckers, I cussed, I'm sorry, just give me a strike, out. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's so much more than you'll ever imagine. And I'm proud of her for doing that. I'm proud of Mariah Huq for doing that. I'm proud of Tamar Braxton and any other black woman who has said, screw the bag. I got to tell the truth and shame the devil. That shit is hard, you guys. It is very difficult. If it affects your bag on so many levels. But if we don't speak up and we just allow it to continue to happen, then we are never going to accomplish what we need to accomplish in order to build generational wealth, equity, ownership, empower our community. They don't like us talking like this. But they don't like it for a reason. because they know the power of our dollar. They know the power of our influence. They know the power of our unity. Bingo. Best way to end that is to divide us. It's the old saying, divide and conquer. I don't know who they are. And I personally, that ain't my business. My business is once you identify an energy, that's who they are for me. They are an energy. Because they could be family, corporations, you know, person at the gym. They could be that energy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's the thing, that energy. I'm not focused on that energy. I'm focused on the proactive steps that I can take to create my own vibration. And then take that vibration and find someone else who has their vibration and say, hey, listen, we vibing kind of on the same frequency. You vibe over there, I vibe over here, but let's stay on this frequency and get a couple other people to vibe with us on this frequency. That's what it's about. It's not about somebody trying to convince you to see things their way. It's just we kind of talk in the same language. And if we just vibrate together on the same frequency, we can make a little more noise than if we're just vibrating alone, right? And it's important for Black people, Black women, Black men, Black youth to work together. I'm going to say this other thing real quick, y'all, and then I'm going to get off of here. BNC Network. These people ain't paying me, but it is a gift to people, Black people. BNC. If you're not watching BNC, you are missing out. They ain't paying me. I do want a show on the network, though, because it's dope. I'm not saying this because of it. They'll never have to give me a show. I'm still going to watch. But BNC is an incredible, powerful network. Everybody on there is smart. Everybody on there has an opinion. Everybody on there probably doesn't agree. But it's the dopest shit in the world. And that is power. The messages, the education, the information, the fearlessness, the representation. We need more of that. And we got to watch them, y'all. We got to support them. We got to watch them and we got to support them because they got it right. And then they'll help build more opportunities for more, like worthtv.com, which every time I get on the live, I'm going to tell y'all to go to worthtv.com because I'm trying to build my own little BNC network situation. Not my own. I'm trying to build our own. I have to watch my words because that's what it is. So I'm not going to be too long. I'm about to, bail from this thing, but in 7 days, I'll be 51. And the thing I learned in this, as I started Trip Around the Sun at 50, is that being transparent and speaking truth, and even if you're not always right, even if, you look back at some shit and you're like, oh, wow, I could have done that differently, or, coming from the right place, hoping to accomplish the right thing, should always be the focus. And not to ever let anybody rob you of that feeling. As long as you truly believe that you are coming from the right place and you have the right intentions and you don't want anybody to hurt and you don't want anybody in pain. You want everybody to thrive. You want everybody to grow. As long as that's where you're coming from, make the mistakes. Make the bad calls. Do the shit that you look back at and be like, damn. Because otherwise you end up regretting having had the opportunity to be authentic, whatever it was going to end like, right? Whatever the end result of your decision was going to be. You missed the opportunity to be authentic if you do some shit that you either are afraid to do, that you are afraid to do, and that you are afraid to do. Because that's all it is fear. And we all know that fear is false evidence appearing real. The shit is never as awful as you think it's going to be in your mind. So mental health in our community is the biggest freaking issue we have to address immediately. The way that we do that is to collaborate with each other. Those of us who, care and build platforms and opportunities for our people to realize they're not alone and they can be transparent and they can say what they're thinking and no one's going to judge them because all of us are struggling with something. All of us are hurting for some reason. And those who matter don't mind. And those who mind don't matter. Period. So I want to collaborate. I want to build something great. I'm going to collaborate. I'm going to see, I'm fixing my words. I'm not going to stop cussing. Because I don't know. The shit just feel right. I'm classy, bougie, and ratchet. But I am going to be super real with y'all. And I love you guys. You know what I mean? And don't allow lower astral frequency beings and situations and all that other stuff to knock you off your square, and be patient with people and understand. Trust me, I'm dealing with it in my own family. I'm dealing with it with friendships and relationships I've had for years, y'all. It's something in the air. It's like shit is crazy out in these streets. But I understand that we are all coming off of this pandemic. We all just did what we needed to do to survive. Some of us were able to hold on a little longer than others. It's just we all want to be able to eat, feed our families, enjoy life, drama-free. I know some of us out there who love drama, but we don't leave that alone. And be happy. All right, so I'm out, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Ooh, this is my Buddha pen. Look, I be coming armed. I'm ready. I got Jesus. I got Buddha. I got this one right here. Gonna tell me who out here that don't mean me no good. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Hold on. I ain't even looked at what's going on here. Hi, you guys. Thank y'all for sticking with me. I didn't even look at these things. I don't want to jump off. What up, though? Detroit in that building. If Detroit is still here. What's up, Mr. Dreads and Rest? Hold on. Who else is on here? Wait a minute. Hi, y'all. I know my chief staff like, there she go on these lives. And you guys, I'm going to do 7. Okay. When we curse, okay, wait, let's talk about this. This is important. When we curse, we speak our mind, but we also are seriously getting our point across. And now in this day and age, people are so sensitive, but we have to speak our mind. Yes, that's what I'm saying, you guys. It's not, listen, let me tell you something. I know people who do not cuss and they evil as they want to be. I know people who that, and again, if cursing is the thing and using the N word, which I know I'm gonna get a lot of opinions about that, and everybody, that's the other thing. I know I said I was about to get off this thing, but it's important that we understand this. I've seen a lot of different opinions about the post that I made about, niggas. N-I-G-G-A, N-I-G-A-S, N-E-G-S, whatever. I didn't say RS, so y'all know that's not the one I'm talking about, so stop being so sensitive. But I love that we are disagreeing with one another and having intelligent dialogue about it. Like, it's time for us to start having those conversations. And brothers, we love y'all. I love a black man. Black man is my soulmate and the love of my life, but I do not always agree with his ass, and he do not always agree with me. And we have a kind of marriage and a kind of relationship where we can have those conversations and we can share those things. And I learned a lot from him, and he learns a lot from me. We do not think the same. We do not have the same. We think the same about the core shit. So that's what I'm trying to say. Collaboration. The end game goal in our marriage and in our household and what we live for and whatever, that's untainted. The process, the opinions of it, he loves, well, let me not put his business straight because, it ain't, see, that's part of the problem. I talk too much, put the man business in the street. See, I like to talk. He like to listen and talk when there's something to say. So, let's see, guys, please check your DMs. You guys, I have something that I'm super excited to announce. Can't say anything about it now. I'm sorry. Someone said they still suffer from mental illness. I'm sorry. And let me tell you something about you who is brave enough to speak up and be transparent about suffering from mental illness. So many people do. So many people do. So many people have. I had, when Maxie passed away, yeah, that was the whole thing. I was like trying to practice to be salt. Angelina Jolie and that guy, I was like, okay, well, what's going on? So, and I'm not making light of it. But it's beautiful that you can be transparent and open about it. You know, there's situational depression, there's clinical depression, there's so many different, there's bipolar disorder. It does not mean that you are not capable of running the world and getting past it and living with it and functioning with it. And that's one of the things, I'm sorry, I need to talk about this. From the Bottom Up Foundation. One of the most incredible things about the From the Bottom Up Foundation that I'm most proud of is that my chief of staff, my CEO, all of my executive board members, all my board members, we are so transparent about the shit that we go through, and we're okay being women who go through shit but are still helping women who are still in the middle of it, and women who are still struggling to get through it. Our goal and our mission at From the Bottom Up Foundation is to keep producing events and initiatives and opportunities to have these conversations. Now that we're out of COVID, we got some really cool things planned. You guys, I'm having a dinner that I'm so excited about, and hopefully we'll be having these dinners all over the world, not just the States, all over the world, where women can have really beautiful, transparent, honest conversations and not feel judged, and really be able to develop a tribe. Because as I've gotten older, I've realized that so often we think, and I said I was getting off, but damn, I'm running my mouth. Gosh, but I gotta say this. Sometimes we feel like our family and the friends that we've had for a certain amount of time and the people that we've known for, you know, we put timelines on the measure of how we connect with people and who we make a part of our tribe. And I think that that's a mistake. I think as you get older, you start to realize new things about yourself. You start to realize that maybe I'm not the same way as I was, you know, when I was 40 or 30 or 45 or last year or last week. Sometimes you can just wake up a new person. And it's important that you find or open yourself up to discovering new relationships and new people that can be a part of your tribe. So I'm going to have, we're hosting through our foundation and through Worth Initiative, a series of conversations, dinner with her. I'm really excited. We're having the first one very soon. And it is just about reconnecting with dope ass women with a common goal to do really amazing stuff, and understanding how important it is for us to work together to do that. So hopefully this dinner with her situation will grow and become something amazing. We're going to give you guys a little sneak peek of it when I'm doing it. So stand by for that. And over the next couple of days, I'm just going to be having some random, real transparent, honest lives. Because lives, IG lives, in lead up to She Speaks Live relaunching. Because it's just some shit I want to say before I turn 51. And while I'm 51, it's going to be a whole next level type thing. What else? I have too much to contribute. I would really love to work with you. Look, please, if y'all are still here, please go to worthtv.com and register. It is free. Look, in the spirit of being transparent, we started working on this and launching this last year. We have been working on this for a while. There were some really great things in store. And then some people started, you know, a fight with me. And I'm just going to say that. Some people started a fight with me. And I'm focused on this fight. But in the interim, I'm still building and growing Worth TV. It's unfortunate that we always have to fight, especially for our intellectual property rights, and especially for the things that we work our asses off to create and to build and we don't get credit for. But you have to be prepared for that, which is why I'm launching an initiative to help women who need legal assistance with certain things. And I'm so excited at the number of attorneys, Black female attorneys, that have offered and reached out and said that they're willing to contribute and to help. Because that's what it boils down to. And I think I said this before. We can complain about shit till the cows come home. But when you get a lawyer, as I say, talk is cheap to get a lawyer involved. So if you are an attorney, a legal advisor, someone who is willing to share and help women who have been victims of all sorts of inequities and issues in this entertainment industry that we're in, please DM me, reach out to me, tag them. We need as many attorneys and and advisors that are willing to donate some time pro bono, but also we'll figure out how to get you straight on a few situations. But I think the one thing that prevents a lot of people from being able to fight for what is right for them is the fact that they don't have, you know, the legal support. And yeah, it's an initiative that I need to make sure goes far. Because then, you know, it changes the conversation. Us in social media is good. And trust and believe. If these people don't keep playing with me, that's all I'm going to say. Because my lawyer is probably cringing at the thought of me even getting anywhere in the area of this whole conversation. And as I said before, we don't litigate in social, we litigate in court. But that initiative is important. Show some little R&B divas. I am so open. I've reached out to everybody. I've let them know just how interested I am in doing that. And hopefully, you know, other people. So, you guys, I'm looking and I'm trying to see some of these comments and stuff. Hold on. She keeps talking about what nobody wants to hear. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm sorry you don't want to hear this. There's a couple people that want to hear it. And even if one person wants to hear it, it's, you know, important that they hear it. Okay, so I don't know, you guys. I think I'm gonna get off. I see some of y'all have really stuck with me throughout this whole live, and I appreciate you for it. Please make sure that you go to shespeakslive.com. I'm sorry, worthtv.com, and make sure that you look for She Speaks Live. I'm so excited. This is gonna be dope. All right, peace, love, and blessings, y'all.